Hi guys. Hi guys. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sorry I'm a little late today starting, but good morning. I want to introduce myself. I am Marina Shepelsky. I'm an immigration lawyer in the United States, and I've been doing American immigration law work since 2002. I'm here to tell you about this week's immigration news, and I'm here to answer your questions. This is not meant to be legal advice, but if you have questions about immigration law, I always explain how things work, and I go beyond your question, explaining how immigration law works around the topic that you ask about. So I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Just post them in the comments. And I just want to say hello to some people here on Instagram. People are joining. I'm a little late today, so I'm sorry. All right. So whenever I do my news, I always prepare some topics. And today I want to discuss cancellation of removal. So cancellation of removal is for people who are in the United States over 10 years. And if you're here illegally for over 10 years, but you have kids born here or a spouse, either U.S. citizen spouse or U.S. citizen kids or green card holder spouse and green card holder kids, we can help you get the green card through the court. We have to get you into removal proceedings, into immigration court. Once we're able to do that, we can start getting you in the cancellation or removal process. We usually start by filing asylum, and then if you have a good asylum case, which believe it or not, many people do when we start, but if you don't have a good asylum case, we might just drop it and stick with cancellation of removal. So if you're in the US over 10 years and you have kids or spouse born here or becoming U.S. citizen in some way, then you can use them and their medical problems or hardships or special needs to get yourself a green card. So that's one way of legalizing. It's a big topic. People ask me about this all the time. So I think that if you are here, this applies to you. If you're in the US more than 10 years, then this applies to you. If you have kids or spouse, through them, through their hardship, through their medical issues or special needs, we ask the judge for a green card for you, right? All right, so I wanted to discuss that. We talked about it. Let's get into the news. Now, let's see what happened. There is a U.S. embassy in Sudan. They reopened operations, and as of April 22, 2023, the embassy in Khartoum, Sudan, had suspended all operations, but it looks like they are going to stop all the operations because of the violent clashes in the country. So if you're in Sudan, you might need to transfer your case to another country. Some people saying, hello, Vladislav. Thank you for useful information. Zuli says, good morning on YouTube. Hello. My friend Joseph, Temi, Topi, Joseph says, good morning, my lovely friend. Hi, Joseph. I haven't seen you here in a while. Nice to see you. I know this is not the easiest time, right, at 11 o'clock on Wednesday, but I find that it's better than Friday. I used to do this on Friday, but by Friday, I feel like people are getting tired. Here's a question from Gurjeet Singh. Hi, madam. Is VAWA processing going faster or not? VAWA, in short, is the I360 petition for people who are victims in a marriage, of a bad marriage with a citizen or green card holder, right? So if you file for VAWA, it is currently taking 33 months. I don't know if it's going to change in May. You know, we're close to May already, only 4 days away, but it might. So that's in the news right now, that VAWA is taking about 33 months, almost 3 years. And once VAWA gets approved, it doesn't mean that you're going to get a green card immediately. It just means that your VAWA is approved, you're not deportable, but then you will need a few months to a year sometimes to get the green card approved based on the VAWA. All right, let's see. So some news for the week that just passed. Majority of swing state voters, so these are the states that could go either way in the elections, and people are already starting to think about the next election, who's going to be president. If we get Trump or DeSantis, who is probably even worse than Trump, it seems like, things are going to be bad for immigrants. So now we're starting to think about, okay, next election, what's going to happen with immigration? So this organization did a survey, and they surveyed the swing states. Those are states that can go either way, Republican or Democrat in the election. And a new poll found that 58% of voters in those swing states disapprove, are unhappy, not happy with how President Biden is handling immigration issues, and only 32% approve. The poll from Democratic polling firm Global Strategy Group also found that 52% of voters on 7 battleground states believe Biden is ignoring the crisis at our border with Mexico, and 50% said the president is ignoring undocumented immigrants. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. 2 advocacy groups issued travel advisories warning gay and LGBTQI people and immigrants not to travel to Florida. Florida has DeSantis, who keeps enacting laws against gay, trans, and LGBTQ people, and they've canceled a bunch of parades for LGBTQ. Like, the parades that were happening for years and years are not going to happen this year. And 2 advocacy groups said that people who are gay, LGBTQ, should not be traveling to Florida in light of recent hateful laws targeting the LGBTQ community. The Florida Immigration Coalition said that travel to the state should be taken with extreme caution, as it can be unsafe for people of color, individuals who speak with an accent, and international travelers. I personally go to Miami all the time. It's very diverse and it's not really bad. But in the future, it might become bad because DeSantis is bringing in all these laws. Now, let's look at USCIS news, and then I will start answering your guys' questions. All right. Okay, so I see that USCIS released better explanation for U.S. citizenship for adopted kids from other countries. Also, for people who are renewing their status as H4, these are dependents of H1Bs, L2, dependent of L1, and the E non-immigrant status, they will just use your fingerprints from what was done before, and you will not have to do fingerprints until September 30th, 2023. They're suspending biometrics for people who are filing to renew, only to H4, L2, and E non-immigrant status. E is for treaty traders. Okay, not so much in the news today, other than everybody's talking about the new elections and let's see. Not really directly immigration related, but Fox News terminated Carson Tucker, who was a very conservative Republican, journalist, one of the faces of Fox News, because he was so extreme in how he acted during the election of President Biden. And, he was supporting this whole idea that there was a voting fraud, and they let go of him because they just settled a lawsuit against the organization that ran the election. So the organization that ran the election proved that this was lies, that there was no voting fraud. And because Fox News kept talking about it, saying there was fraud, Fox News had to pay them around $750 million in a settlement. So they let go of Carson Tucker. On the other side, CNN also terminated, fired Don Lemon. He was extreme on the other side, on the left side. So we'll see how this goes. Also in the news is that Susan Rice, who was President Biden's domestic policy advisor, leaves the White House this week, and she was a key moderate, like in the middle, voice of immigration and border security. And at the same time, Title 42 public health order is ending on May 11th. So people are saying that this might push immigration policies either all the way to the left or all the way to the right. We'll see how it goes. But she's leaving the White House, stepping down as Biden's domestic policy advisor. And although she was pretty liberal, she was towards the middle, people are saying. What else? Again, back to Florida. This is the last thing I want to talk about the news about. Florida, the Florida Republican Party is on the verge of passing a Ron DeSantis supported immigration bill. So the sweeping immigration bill would give 12 million. This is a state bill. This is inside the state of Florida. This is not federal, okay? So the Florida's legislation would give 12 million to the Florida governor's program, Flying Migrants to Democratic States. So they're going to start flying more and more of these immigrants who end up in Florida from the border into Democratic states to get rid of them. And the latest, so Republicans passed this law out of a committee along party lines on Monday. So Florida is like getting rid of, anti-immigrant laws, and Florida is looking to bring Governor Ron DeSantis as the next presidential candidate. I think he's very strongly promoted as one of the Republican candidates to run against Trump. So for us, for immigration attorneys and advocates and immigrants, this is bad news, as DeSantis is obviously very much against immigrants. People are saying good morning. GT Vibe says good morning, Marina. Good morning, Instagram and YouTube. All right, I think that, Natalie Ars is asking, is there any updates about the new Heart Service Center for USCIS? Other than it was set up, I don't have any updates. Thank you for asking. Mani Kumar says, hello, Marina, good morning. Nice to see you. All right, I think I'm going to start answering your questions. I think I'm all done with the news. I'm all done with saying hello to everyone. Someone who has a number as a user on Instagram says, I'm looking for immigration, but low IELTS score. I don't know what that means with age 37. I have no idea what that is. Bojo Yoti. Hi, how are you? Thank you for watching. All right, let me start answering your questions. The first is from Naresh Kumar. He says, hello, ma'am. As there are 170,000 applications now pending for U visa. U visa is for victims and witnesses of crimes who help the police, they help the district attorney, they help put the bad guy to bring him to court and put him in jail. So since there's 170,000 applicants for U visa, but they have a quota, and USCIS is only issuing 10,000 of these visas a year, so will it take 17 years for the U visa if I apply in January 2022? This is really hard. Okay, I go to uscis.gov, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can do what I do. I want to teach you to do what I do, so you can always check processing of your kind of case, right? So I'm right on their website. This is the homepage for USCIS. I go to check processing times. And then to find out how long the U visa will take, if you filed right now, I go to 518, so it's I-918. I-918 for the U visa. I find that it's, let's say it's in Vermont Service Center. And this is how long the U visa is taking. 59 months. Almost 5 years. So your U visa will take 5 years. Not 17, 5. And I understand it's hard, believe me. When we file for the U visas, it's hard too, because imagine how much can change in 5 years in somebody's life. It's a long time. I'm sorry that this is taking so long, you know. All right. And Emma Manish says, I completed my VAWA case fingerprints biometrics yesterday. How long will my case take to complete? It's in Nebraska Service Center with a field office in Chicago. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to share my screen again. I know how long it will take, but I just want to show you so you could check in 5 months, 6 months. I360 VAWA. So I find the form on the list, I360 VAWA. Then I find Violence Against Women Act VAWA as the reason for the I360. Okay? VAWA is taking 33 months to be approved. After it's approved, we look at the green card application and we say VAWA is family-based, it's considered family-based. And let's say Chicago. Months from the date of filing, but it's a little different when you file with the VAWA. So the VAWA unit, once your case is approved, will mail your file over to Chicago. I think it will take another 9 months to a year for you. So altogether, you're looking at like 3 to 4 years. All right. So I'm gonna take this off the screen, and there's a question on Instagram here. Deboj Yoti says, ma'am, how to find H-1 visa sponsorship for a USA job when I'm outside of US? You have to start looking for jobs, and if you are really professional, if you really have a good technical experience or experience in the field, usually the company that wants to hire you will visa. Okay, let's move on. Joseph has a question. Thank you so much for all your help and information for everyone. Oh, it's not a question, it's a thanks. On behalf of everyone in the world, we say thank you, thanks, and thanks so much. God bless you and your family too. Thank you so much. I really love doing my work here. So thank you for watching. So the New Heart Virtual Center started working slowly, but they're not fully like operational yet. Natalie says, do you have, okay, that's the same thing. Mani Kumar says, the VAWA I-485 has been pending for 639 days. When can I expect the next update? It depends where it's pending, what service center, and where it has to go for adjudication, like before the decision. It's going to go to your local office. So if you are like in Chicago, New York City, or LA, it's going to go there. And then it depends on how long they take from receiving it to adjudicating. It's going to take a year at least. Okay. So if it's already been more than a year, it might take a few more months. Okay, Joseph has a question. He says, I have a question for my friend. Is it possible, okay, for someone that had cancellation asylum before and the lawyer told him to reply again? Is it a good idea? Okay. Asylum case. But his lawyer is encouraging him to file again. It depends. I don't know if it's a good idea. I haven't Okay, I'm back here. I'm back. And Joseph has another question. He says he can get married in March. Can this mess up his case? I think it will be okay. You can always transfer from asylum to a different kind of case, Joseph. So it should be fine. Navjeet says, hi, Marina. How are you? Navjeet says, Marina, can I file for a work visa nowadays? You can next year ask for an H1, but you need a company, a US company, to sponsor you. And you need to find that type of job. You can apply from outside of US for a job, but when you find it, you have to talk to the employer. This is to answer the Borj Yote question. You have to tell them that you're outside and you need a visa to be brought in. It's not going to be easy, but it is possible. FK on YouTube says, hi, Marina. Hope you're doing well. I sent my VAWA petition to Nebraska office on April 10th this year, but I still didn't get any notification they received it. How can I find out if I sent it to the right department? You will receive it. Just give it some time. Give it a little bit time. Sometimes it takes a whole month, 30 days, to receive confirmation that they received your VAWA. Okay? Dear Marina, how much money do I need to show during my U.S. work visa entry to the officer? You need to show enough to show that you will have a way to come back to your country. Natalie says, is it possible to transfer the PD from a withdrawn I-130 to an I-360? Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's possible. Yes. And Joseph says, thank you for my response and answer. Question from Hemli Mutu on YouTube. Hi, dear. I had an interview for B1, B2 visa, tourist visa. I was asked 5 questions, but nothing related to whom I'm visiting, how much I make, earn, nothing about ties to my country, and just denied. What do I do? It's very hard to answer this because the consul has their own way of testing you, of finding out about you, and they can deny for any reason. So the only way around this is to reapply in a few months. Du Bois says, ma'am, I understand what you said about looking from outside for work with a visa here, with a job with a visa inside US, but I want to know, can I directly apply for a job from outside the US and they will sponsor? Am I right? You can try. I don't know if they're going to be, every company is going to sponsor, but you can try. Again, if your experience is very good, very exclusive, you have really good work experience and education, they often do sponsor people from outside of US. Natalie says, thank you for responding. FK says, is Nebraska the right office to file the VAWA petition? It is, and even if you send it to the wrong office, they often will send from the wrong office to the right office, but it takes a lot longer. Now, how do I check where to file a case? Okay, let me share my screen with you again. Okay. One moment. I'm going to turn off the stupid Wi-Fi here for my live for Instagram. Okay, so I go to USCIS.gov. Okay. Right? I go to USCIS.gov. I go to forms, and then I look for all forms. Right? Then I find the I360 VAWA. I360. I have to slow the, okay, I360. And I see here the form. Here is where to file the I360. So Okay. So we find our category. Okay. If you're filing your VAWA with your green card application, you should file with Nebraska Service Center. And I always use Federal Express or UPS, and it goes to attention I360 VAWA, 850 South Street, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508, right here. Okay. If you're filing as a spouse of a green card holder, it also goes to the same place. So yes, Nebraska is the right place to file, to answer your question. Okay, Nebraska is the correct place to file. You did a good job by filing in Nebraska. Good. I'm happy for you. Christopher Idu says, on January 26, 2023, how long should I expect my work permit? It depends where it's being processed. Right now, expect 14 months to a year to 14 months, okay? Natia Sakiashvili says, hello, can you file VAWA after 2-3 months of marriage? You can, but you'd have to show some extreme abuse why you couldn't live longer than 2-3 months together. Yes, you can. Oh, my friend Kamuji says hello from Atlanta. Hi, thank you for joining. Okay, FK says different page, says different addresses, and people who live in California send to the Chicago address. But if you file with a green card, it goes to Nebraska. So you did a good job, FK. Oh, La Larry Ibrahim says, how can my friend invite me to US? I'm from Nigeria. Your friend can send you an invitation letter. Then you need to go on the US Embassy in Nigeria, their website, and apply for a tourist visa, pay the fee, fill out the application, and then get your interview scheduled. You will have to show that you're holding in your hands an invitation letter and send them a copy. Natia says, thank you. Thank you, Natia. All right, I think I'm going to wrap up today's show. I apologize, you guys, for the technical difficulties I had today a little bit, because I think something is going on with my Wi-Fi. Thank you so much for your patience, for watching every week. And FK says, thank you so much, Marina. I appreciate your advice. You're the best. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. And I want to wish all of you guys a wonderful day. We did some news. I answered some of your questions. I said hello to some people. This was a good day. Prepare for the next time. Any questions you have, you could post in the comments. I will not see you for next 2 weeks. I will see you again, you guys, in May. And May is very close already. I will see you all again. I'm going to be traveling for work, and I'll be away on various things, conference and some trials. And I will see you on May 17th next. Thank you so much. Prepare your questions for next time. God bless you. Have a great week. Bye, everyone.